Assalamualaikum, my name is Paufuni Alia. Nama matrix is BT233030690. Today I will present part 1, which is to concern a graph chart to compare the relative frequency and cumulative relative frequency between the two key metrics, which is customer satisfaction score and customer retention rate. Before drawing the graph, we need to prepare the frequency distribution table for both datasets. Let's start with the customer satisfaction score. We divide the score into class intervals into 61 to 65, 66 to 70, 71 to 75, and so on. Next, we count how many scores fell into each class. This gives us the frequency. Then we calculate the relative frequency. To do this, we need to divide class frequency by the total, which is 30. For example, class 71 to 75 has a frequency of 1, so 1 divided by 30 is 0.03. Next is class 76 to 80 has a frequency of 7, so 7 divided by 30 is 0.23. We repeat this for all the intervals. After that, we calculate the cumulative relative frequency. This means we need to current relative frequency to all the previous one. For example, 0.03 plus 0.03 minus to 0.03 plus 0.03 equal to 0.06. Then 0.06 plus 0.23 equals to 0.29, and so on. We use the same method for the customer retention rate. The intervals used are 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, and so on. We calculate both the relative frequency and the cumulative relative frequency the same way. Let's look at the bar chart for relative frequency. For customer satisfaction score, the higher bar are for classes 81 to 85 and 89 to 90, both with relative frequency of 0.27. This shows that many customers give higher satisfaction score. For customer retention rate, the higher bar is for class 70 to 79, which a relative frequency of 0.46, followed by classes 90 to 97 and 80 to 89, both with 0.26. This shows that retention value are more focused in the middle range. Okay, now let's compare the cumulative relative frequency line graph. Both graphs increase steadily and end at 1.0. Mainly, all data is counted for. But there is a difference. For customer satisfaction score, the line increase more gradually and evenly, which means the scores are more balanced across the intervals. However, for customer retention rate, the line rises more quickly, especially between 90 to 79, and then slow down. This tells us the most data is concentrated in the middle range, and favor customer fell into the lower or higher retention levels. In the conclusion, the customer satisfaction score is more evenly distributed, while the customer retention rate is more clustered in the middle intervals. That's all.
Good morning, sir. My name is Varsha Sri Chandran. My metric number is BB231100697, and I'll be doing part 2, which is calculate and compare measures of center location between the two key metrics. For the first one is the mean. The mean is the sum of all values divided by the number of classes. For Customer satisfaction score is 84.23%, while for customer retention score is 74.07%. For the second one is median. Median is the middle number when all the values are arranged in order. So the median values are 85% and 74% respectively. And the modes are the value that appears the most often in the dataset. For customer satisfaction score is 88 and 85%, while for retention score is 80 and 68%. Among these, the median is the best measure of center location because it's not affected by any extreme values. It also gives a more accurate picture of a typical performance, especially when the data is uneven. This makes it more reliable for compare businesses. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is He Yulin, BT2330387. For part 3, result of discrete analysis. First is customer satisfaction. Q1 is 79.5%, Madam is 85%, Q3 is 90%, May is 17%, Max is 93%. IQR is 10.5%, no outliers. Second is customer retention rate. Q1 is 68%, Madam is 74%, Q3 is 80%, Min is 16%, Max is 88%, IQR is 12%, no outliers. The second part, interpretation of the result. First is customer satisfaction. The median is relatively high, indicating that the satisfaction level of most enterprise is at a high level. The interquarter range shows that the data is concentrated in the middle to high range with no outliers, indicating that the differences in satisfaction among enterprise are relatively comparable. Second is customer retention rate. The median is relatively low, and the overall retention rate is lower than the satisfaction rate, reflecting a large room for improving customer loyalty. A wider interquarter range, indicating a more significant differences in retention rate between companies, but the data is still concentrating with the range of 68% to 18% with no outliers.
Hello, my name is Zhao Lingmiao. So next I will talk about the results of data analysis on two important business metrics: customer satisfaction score and customer retention rate. We use 4 ways to measure dispersion to assess how consistent or variables each metric is assessed business. So for the first one, the range satisfaction score is 23 point and the retention score is 28%. For the MAD, which means the average difference from the mean, the satisfaction is 4.88 and the retention is 5.74. As for the standard deviation, the satisfaction is 6 and the retention is 7.01. For the C-way, satisfaction is 0.071 and the retention is 0.095. These results show that customer retention is more spread out and less consistent than customer satisfaction. So what does this tell us? Despite many companies achieving high satisfaction, retention rates vary dramatically. This means that making customers satisfied is not enough. So while satisfaction reflects the customer's short-term happiness, retention reflects a long-term trust and value perception, which is long-term relationship. Some companies are great at both. Those others make people happy but don't give them a reason to stay. To improve the retention, companies need to do more than just offer good service. They can involve follow-up with customer after purchase and give reward or discount to repeat customer. Finally, to make customer feel valued and remembered. So in conclusion, our analysis help us see a clear picture. Customer satisfaction is important, but customer retention is real challenge. Business should focus both with grow stronger and build lasting success. Thank you for listening. That's all for me.
Hello and good morning. My name is Alia Maisara binti Effendi. My matrix number is BB233060996. So today I will presenting about part 5, calculate and interpret measure of association between the two key metrics. So this is my answer for the mean. The first one, mean. X is for mean satisfaction score, and Y is for mean retention rate. So the first answer for the satisfaction score is 84.23%, and the retention rate is 74.07%. This is how I calculate it using the formula. And then the second one is covariance. My answer is 39.81%. So for the interpretations, a positive covariance indicates that as the customer satisfaction increases, the retentions also tend to increase. So next, my answer for the standard deviations. The standard deviation of satisfactions is 6.00, and the standard deviations of retentions is 7.01. The next, for the Pearson's correlation coefficients, my answer is 0.95. So this is how I calculated it. So next is for the interpretations. The correlations coefficients of 0.95 shows a strong positive linear relationship between a satisfaction and retention. This means businesses with higher customer satisfactions are highly likely to have a higher retention rate. So last but not least, for the conclusion, improving customer satisfaction should be a strategic priority as it is strongly correlates with customer retention. So that's all from me. Thank you.